2008, also urging other political actors to ensure that peace prevails over this period. President Kenyatta also spoke about the National Youth Service and saying that Kenyans need to separate what he says are the successes of the program since its inception in 2013, saying that it has created up to 91,000 jobs, and also saying that it has created up to 3.4 billion shillings, he said, went into that program as direct wages. And of course, some of the people that our political affairs reporter Chris Thairu spoke to at the stadium felt like the president just merely scratched the surface of the issue of corruption, which many Kenyans expected him to speak about. So we shall be delving deeper into analysis of how that went about in our subsequent programs. Let's move on now. And one more victim of the Naivasha accident has succumbed to his injuries. The latest casualty raises the number of people killed to 41. There are 6 bodies at the Jomo Kenyatta University College mortuary and 34 at the Chiromo mortuary, from where our reporter Caroline B. now joins us for more details. And good afternoon, Carol. If you can hear me, I see her just getting prepared for this one. Good afternoon. If you can just paint to us a picture of what is happening there at the moment.
Good afternoon to you. Well, I'm at the Chiromo mortuary, where the 36 bodies of those who perished yesterday was brought here just for DNA identification and for the families to come and identify the bodies of their loved ones. And the bodies were brought here. 6 more are actually currently at the Kenyatta University funeral parlor. But as of now, identification is currently ongoing. As per the brief that has just been given, is that the families, for the families, the government is going to take photos of the deceased before the families can be allowed to actually view that. Then after that, there's going to be a physical viewing. Well, that is just as per the management authority, the disaster management authority that is camped here. But before the families are able to view the bodies or the photographs of the deceased, they have to go through counseling sessions, which are being undertaken by volunteers from the Kenya Red Cross Society. We also have volunteers from the St. John Ambulance and the Ahadi Counseling Training Institute, just to make sure that the families are comfortable before they can be able to, get into that difficult moment. And as you know, as of this morning from the Kenyatta National Hospital, one of the victims out of the 3 who were taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital succumbed to the burns. They had burns of 40 to 60%, 40 to 80% degree burns, and one of them succumbed this morning. We are still expecting some of government officials to come to this side. We are expecting the health CS, as we had earlier on, be informed. We also have Francis Major from NTSA. Earlier on, Esther Passaris was here, who is vying for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. Well, that is just an update that is currently ongoing at the Chiromo mortuary, but the families will be allowed to see the photographs or the bodies of the deceased at around 2:30, as per the brief that was given to them. As of now, they're just waiting. As you can see behind me, there are tents where they are actually seated, waiting for the next step before they can actually proceed. But counseling has already been done, which started early morning, but DNA testing is also underway. For DNA to take place, they have to take samples from the mother, and if the mother is not available, then they have to take a sibling so that they can compare it with the remains of the deceased. And it's also a very, very difficult process from the government officials, as they've said. It's going to take, it could take as long as 2 weeks. And as for the people I've actually spoken to here, they say that if the process can be hastened, because 2 weeks, which are actually spill over to the festive season, and they want the process, to be made faster. But 2 weeks is what we are actually looking at before the DNA process is out and before the families can be allowed to take the bodies of their loved ones.
Right, Caroline, and of course you have touched on this one a bit, and so tragic was this accident that the bodies, we understand, were burnt beyond recognition. And so for the families or friends that want to ascertain whether their members are part among those that perished in the accident, then what steps exactly do they take in coming to do, to confirm whether it's one of them that perished in the accident?
As I actually told you, it's a very, very difficult process for the DNA to be taken. And for the families, that lost their loved ones, they cannot even be able to identify, the bodies, because some of them, the remains were in form of bones. For others, they were totally burnt beyond recognition. So it is at that point that they are going to take the DNA test so that they can actually make a comparison. They will start with the mother, and if the mother is not available or is not present, then they will have to take a sibling. And from then they will be able to link up both DNAs of the deceased, of the remains of the deceased, and the family members.
Right.
Also for the bodies which are going to be easily identified.
Right.
The process has already begun, but they've said that they're going to do DNA process for all the bodies which are here. So that, just a final thing, so that the bodies, all of them can actually be identified, and to avoid the process of, a family going away with the wrong body.
All right. Thank you very much, Caroline B, of course, telling us that also the families are getting counseling, and of course may not also be a very easy thing for you yourself to cover. So thank you so much.